been a long time coming for you guys, man. This is your first year as a first full-time Week 1 starter. We're getting some national buzz, on three Heisman buzz, stuff like that. How has it been for you coming into the season with a certain level of expectations versus coming in the past season not even being QB1?
It's not very different just because I'm trying to prepare and do everything the same basically, and I'm trying to stay away from all that stuff. So basically just doing all the same stuff that I've done my past 5 years. It's just that's there, whether I see it or not, or whether it gets sent to me or not. It is cool, but a lot of that has to do with what happened last year, and so got to go do it again this year.
Now that it's fall camp and games in a month, is there a tangible difference? Is there a tangible different feeling within the group?
A little bit. I mean, right now, I think obviously we're just taking it day by day and trying to get better every day. We got a lot to work on, a lot to improve on still. And so right now that's where we're at. But we know, obviously it's fall camp. You're not in spring ball or anything anymore. So,
Coach Spav has kind of a history of second year is always better. Do you feel like that's coming, that kind of thing? You feel like this is going to be a better year?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, obviously. And I think with all the guys that we have returning to, the defense, getting to play against them and Aranda every single day is just making us better. And so, I for sure feel like that. I feel like everybody is confident in that. So, like I said, we still got a lot to work on, a lot to improve on, but, we're trending in the right direction.
What can you say about Lewis Brown now that you've gotten to see him in full 11-on-11, not just 7-on-7 out there during the summer?
Yeah, he looks really good. Really excited about him. Stud, big dude, fast, has really good hands, and so he kind of has all the intangibles that you want with the wide receiver, especially on the outside, and so really excited to have him.
What about just the receiver room as a whole, particularly with Ashton becomes eligible, but I look at all the transfers y'all got and even the freshmen that came in.
Yeah, no, I think they're in a really, really good spot. Obviously having Ashton come back helps so much. Super excited for him, super happy. I get to throw to him another year. And then on top of that, just all the other depth that we either brought in with Lewis and those guys or the freshmen, getting their reps, getting older. Very deep room, lots of competition, which that's really good. And those older guys are kind of leading that charge. So super excited for them and to be a part of that.
How's your relationship with Michael Trick developed? Obviously he's a tight end security blanket for the QB. He's one of the more athletic guys at that tight end spot in college football. How's y'all's relationship developed, and how do you kind of want to build on what y'all did last year together?
Yeah, he's awesome. He's a really easy guy to be friends with, really personable. He's come to my house a couple times. We did burgers one night, played the game, played darts, just all that kind of stuff. So relationship's good. You want that with all the guys on the team. But like I said, it's really easy to have a relationship with him just because of the type of guy he is. And obviously on the field, you guys see what he can do on the field. So he's a really special guy, really special talent. And so, super excited for him and building off what we started last year.
What does it mean to have Kelsey back out there healthy?
It's good, yeah. Happy, really, really happy for him. Obviously, kind of scary situation, especially with how much time he missed. So really happy for him just because he gets to play football again.
Your teammates talked about how great of a leader you are and how fun you are to be around. So how important has that been that, along with your on-the-field play, you've also grown as a leader off the field?
Yeah, that's good. It's awesome. To be honest, I just try to be myself every day, authenticity. I think people are, attracted to that as far as, leadership, football standpoint go. And so trying to just be the same person every single day, the good and the bad days. It's hard. You have a crappy day, you just want to talk to anybody or do anything like that. And same thing, if you have a really good day, you're all high and mighty, all the stuff. But just being the same guy every day, it's challenging to do, but I think that is part of being a leader. And so it's been really cool to kind of grow, like you said, in both those aspects.
Now that you guys are here in fall camp, have you felt an energy shift or something different about the seriousness as you guys get ready for this season?
Yeah, a little bit. Like I said earlier, it's kind of it's here finally, but at the same time, we still have a lot that we have to work on. And so we're kind of taking it day by day, especially we haven't even put the pads on yet. So we'll get to do that tomorrow and get a little better feel for it. But yeah, just working day by day, but it's finally here. So yeah, we know that for sure.
So one thing you talk about authenticity, you really lead with your faith. That's something I hear you mention a lot. You mentioned today. You talking about your leadership style. How does your faith? How does that contribute to your leadership style? And how does that kind of make you a magnet for your other teammates?
I think there's quite a few things that goes into it. One of them being, at the end of the day, what really matters. Obviously, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, you know, the odds of people knowing my statistics as a Baylor football player are not great. But what does matter is the impact I made while I had the platform, you know. And so, you know, whether it's being involved in campus activities, community, Bible studies, all the stuff, you know, you don't ever know who might be going through something or struggling with something. And so that's where faith comes in. I mean, like talking to people just about Jesus, what you believe, all the stuff. And, you know, you might change their life and their eternity. And so that's where I'm going with, like, at the end of the day, what really matters is about using the platform. So
You talked about the community, kind of going along with that. Your time here at Baylor, how much has your relationship with the community grown over time?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's been really cool just to it's really just the opportunities that kind of open up while you have the position that you have. So whether it's going and speaking at an event, getting to do like a meet and greet, sharing my testimony, like any of that, so all that's great. You know, that's why you do what you do. And it kind of ties into what I was saying earlier. 50 years from now, 100 years from now, nobody's going to know my stats as a Baylor football player, but the amount of people that I can impact while I do it is what matters.
What's the next step for you on the field? How can you get better on the
Got a
field
lot
this year?
of ways. I mean, shoot. There's a few. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it. One on the mental side, then on the technical side. I mean, like you want to make it as easy on your receivers as possible, as easy on the O-line, getting in and out of checks. And then throwing the ball. I mean, just making it easy on the receivers so they don't have to work too hard. And so just getting better, like with all that stuff, is really important. Whether it's feet, you know, arm slot, whatever it is.
Relationship between quarterback and center is pretty important. Tell me about your relationship with Colton.
Colton's
Rice,
awesome.
and how has that grown over your time as the starter?
Yeah, it's awesome. Colton, I think Colton got here a year before I did. So we've been together for 3 years now. So he was one of the guys on that 3-9 team. I think the guys that were on that 3-9 team kind of have this like unspoken relationship that's just like we've been through some sucky times together, you know. But Colton's awesome, really fun guy, easy guy to talk to in the locker room. You know, whether it's about fishing, hunting, you know, whatever it is, he's fun. So we've gotten to hang out a little bit. But yeah, he's a really easy guy to get along with. Very similar to Trig. I mean, two unique personalities, but both of them are super personable and just amazing people.
I know we ask about all the skill positions, but how does he help make the offense kind of go from his?
Colton?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a few things that go into. I mean, like centers making the calls and stuff. So, for him to be as smart as he is incredible. I mean, it gets us going, like you said. And then on top of that, just the toughness. I mean, shoot, he's played with broken fingers, broken knuckles. I mean, all the stuff. And so, probably one of the toughest dudes on the team. Somebody that, you know, probably wouldn't pick a fight with. It wouldn't be wise. But, yeah, so he's definitely a huge reason why. But that goes for everybody, the 1/11th part of the offense. So
Are we going to see the stash make a return this year?
to be determined.
Okay.
What do you think of Nate's?
He looks like a freshman. It looks like a freshman stash. Yeah, it looks like. I'm proud of it though. It looks good. He's rocking it right now.
He's trying.
It's about the confidence.
Yeah,
That's
right,
really what
right.
it's about. The hair will grow, but it's the confidence to do it that matters. But yeah, he's got a little freshman stash right now.
So, you know, I play myself, so I try to circulate some of the coach speak. The most important game is the next game, the week one, you know, National Brandon Auburn, another transfer quarterback in Jackson Arnold. You know, how big of a statement is that for you, the program, and kind of what you talked about, just your legacy, you know, here in Waco? Yeah,
no, it's huge. I mean, obviously, a lot of respect for them. They're a really good football team, historic football team, and so we know what we have week one. We know the stage that we're playing on. Guys are working hard right now, and the reason we're doing that is because we know we have them at home on a national stage, and so there's no, I mean, it's on us if we don't prepare the right way for those guys because they deserve it, and they're a really good team.
Fall camp is here, I guess. What's changed? Has things sped up, or like, are you getting more excited for the season? Like, what are the feelings now that fall camp is
100%.
here?
I think there's a lot of factors that go into it. I think I actually heard Walker briefly mention it, but just the speed of the game, right? All summer, there's a lot of it's just weights and conditioning, and then there's 7-on-7 in the mornings and afternoons occasionally, just the players kind of just getting the continuity back that we had in spring. And it's different when there's an O-line and a D-line. So, the first day you're like, okay, I got to adjust to this now. There's things that maybe I would hang on to a little longer, some concepts in 7-on-7 that I can't do now. So I think that just takes a little bit to get used to, but I feel like today, as a group collectively, receivers and quarterbacks, there was more of a sense of urgency, just realizing like this is real ball. We play a game in a month. And, you know, fall camp, I think things do get more real, kind of like you said. You know, we like I said, game in a month, so it's like, okay, we know the concepts. We had a whole spring to do it. Obviously, there's transfers and new guys that have maybe a little more of a step to take. But in terms of knowing the concepts, knowing what to do, knowing your job, I think we're all pretty much there. I think that's the point of spring. But then it's like, okay, how do I fine-tune the small details of certain depths on a route, of my footwork, of where my eyes are? Do I hold the safety for this long? How long do I hold a concept? So I think that's the biggest thing of just trying to perfect your craft, right? Because when we go out there and play Auburn, an SEC team, you know, that's big-time football. So everything, the details, you can't just run the right route. You got to run the right depth, the right footwork, when do you cut. Like me and the receiver have to be on the same page. Sawyer and the receiver, Walker and the receiver, Ed and the receiver, Cade, you know, all of us. So we're just preparing ourselves like we have to go in there day one and play. And I think that's what you have to have the mindset of as being a quarterback, and then helping each other learn, and just being a leader, right? Because some of these guys have never been in this position. Big time game. Some of these guys are going to be their first game they're going to have to play for us. So it's just like, how not only do I get myself ready to play, but how do I get everybody else around me to raise to that level as well that I expect of myself. So, yeah.
How much better prepared are you right now than you were last fall camp?
Yeah, it's crazy. I was thinking about it because it feels like 2 weeks ago that I was out there. My head was spinning. I didn't know what I was doing. But at the same time, I feel like I've done so many things. You know, I've had 2 summers and already 1 fall camp under my belt. So I think the biggest thing for me is just knowing my strengths, right? So like, what can I be really confident in? Certain throws I can make. Like, what footwork do I like the best? But also like certain things that in last fall I didn't understand. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's the thing I really need to focus on, like enhance my strengths and then like recognize my weaknesses and elevate that as well. And then knowing Coach Spav and Coach Spav knowing me, like we're getting on the same page, and especially with Sawyer, right, having a whole season under his belt, it's cool to see how they are like so like-minded, where it's almost a play's called and we almost know exactly why he's thinking that, what situation he's going to do. So I think for me it's trying to think like the coaches and like Sawyer, who's had a year. Like, that's my next step. A big thing is just getting into better plays as well. That was something I didn't really feel comfortable with last fall. Even the spring, I here and there testing things out, had to learn a lot through not doing the right thing, which I think is probably the best thing for me, right? Just learning from that, having tape. And so, yeah, that's the biggest thing for me. It's just like recognizing something and then realizing, okay, is this cool to do, or do I need to get into something better? And if it doesn't work, awesome, move on. You know what I mean? Short-term memory. And Coach Spav gives us a lot of freedom to mess around with things and then, you know, find what works for me personally, but also for our whole team, just in terms of personnel. So, yeah.
How much fun is his offense? I mean, how much do you fit into it also, I guess?
I think I fit in really well in terms of my play style. I committed to Coach Grimes when he was here, and that was a totally different offense, wide zone. And, you know, I didn't know anything else. In high school, you have like 4 pass concepts, and you're just like the best player making all the throws. And it's like, okay, you get to college, like, shoot, I have to go under center now, I have to do all this stuff. And then going to Coach Spav, very quarterback-friendly offense. And I think we all know all the quarterbacks that he's had and that have been successful. So for me, especially being a shorter quarterback in the shotgun quick game, I think that's one of my strengths, arm angles and stuff, where I can get the ball out quick and just progression-based stuff that's very, like, becomes muscle memory, right? And so the keys are, like, locked in all the time. I always know who the 6th or 7th defender is. I always know, okay, 1 high safety, 2 high safety. So I think just his offense in general, you know, you could call it an air raid, but just it's a quarterback friendly. And I think we've seen that with Sawyer, how he slides in there week, whatever, and then he's just like the best quarterback in the country. So, and we'd love for that all to be us, and that's kind of the goal. And I think that's what all the coaches are trying to prepare us to do. So, yeah, I think I fit in really well. I'm blessed to be here, blessed to have the coaches around me. So.
This might sound like an obvious question, but how important is Sawyer's leadership, not just to the quarterback room, but kind of to this team overall and where you all want to get to this year?
100%. I mean, I think I might be biased because I play quarterback, but I don't think there's another position on the field where, like, no matter what, whether you want to be a leader or not, like, that you have to be in some sense. And some people are vocal leaders, some people lead by action. And I think the coolest thing about Sawyer is that he does both, right? And so when something needs to be said, he's going to say it. When something doesn't need to be said, it's like, okay, let's just fix it and move on, right? And he's always first to do everything. He's going to be the guy who always does the right thing. And so it's like, okay, me being a quarterback, right, it's really easy for me to just watch what he does and be like, okay, that's how it's supposed to be done. And then if there's a mistake, go and talk to him about, hey, what were you seeing on that? Or he does something really well, like, how can I do that? Like, what's that next step? And we have coaches to talk to, but I think the biggest thing for him, or for me with him, is like so accessible. I'm around him all day. Fall camp, I mean, I wish I could get away from him, quite honestly. He sucks. No, he doesn't. But it's like, it's such a cool thing for me. And then back to the team part, I think, I mean, y'all saw last year, this is kind of like a goofy example, but like even getting like Yetis for everybody, like stuff like that. It's like you don't see that all the time. And it's because he genuinely cares. It's not because he's doing this because the camera's on him and it's going to get posted on Instagram. It's like, no, because he recognizes his platform and he knows who he is, and it's super authentic and he's not faking anything. Like who he is who he is. And so I think that's something that whenever I'm playing, like that's what I want to have as a quarterback. And so that's super fun, and I think the team feeds off that. I mean, you saw how we played when he was in. There's no doubt there was a shift. Talent stayed the same, but like there's intangible things that a leader of the team carries that can totally propel a team to win, 6 straight games. So I think we're going to carry that into this year, and I think he's the leader of our team. So I just try to follow suit.
Walker, question for me, man. Highly touted guy coming out of high school last year. Obviously not a native Texan. DA's got some momentum in the 2026 class. What is he like as a recruiter? What did DA do to convince you to come 8 hours, 9 hours from home to Waco, Texas?
I mean, the biggest thing for me was out of high school. If y'all remember, Baylor was in my top 3. And so when I decided to get in the transfer portal and Baylor called, I mean, it was an automatic, like almost yes for me. Obviously, I still had to hear from other coaches, but I knew I loved Coach Aranda. I had to do some of my own research of Jake Spavital and what it would be like playing for him, and I knew a guy that he coached for at Texas State, and so just wanted to do my own research for that. And kind of once I got some word on Jake, Coach Spav, sorry, I was just like fired up to come here and working with Rhett Holcomb, who also recruited me out of high school. And Texas football. I mean, it doesn't get better than this, and it's just great football, and it's a good league, and I wanted to play in it, and I was fired up to be here.
What's it like playing, alongside a guy like Sawyer, a guy that's, building some national buzz, but also as a guy that's, it's been a long time coming for him too.
Yeah, Sawyer, I mean, similar situation for me last year. I was playing under Peyton Thorne, and for me, like, I'm a huge development guy. Like, I want to learn. I want to get better. I asked those guys questions, and Peyton really took me under his wing last year, and I really wanted to be around him all the time, learn from what he had to teach. And same thing when I got here for Sawyer. I mean, I was fired up. 5th-year guy, started at Mississippi State, and he's been through so many different OCs and offenses, so he knows ball, and he knows. And I've talked with him just about like how he watches film and what he looks for, and then also just we've talked a ton on footwork, and he's helped me out a lot on that. Within the game, and also just mentally and how he's approached the game, because he didn't have the easiest way to becoming a starter, but he made it and he pushed through, and so I've learned a lot from him in that aspect of the game. So it's been awesome. Sawyer's been great, and he's just he's a real role model for me and loves the Lord, and as do I. So I really just look at him as a leader and a guy that I want to be like.
Last one for me, man. Obviously, a lot of emotions. Week 1, former team. What's it like for you playing against your former team, week 1 of this season?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun game. There's a lot of momentum coming up on August 29th. So it's going to be a fun game. I'm excited to see those guys. I have a lot of love for those guys, but come August 29th, obviously we want to come out with a win, but it's not going to be easy.
Now that the fall is here and camp's starting and the game's a month out, like, has the pace changed? Are things faster? Like, what's different now than when you got here in the spring?
Yeah, I mean, obviously just in the spring, it was learning the offense, new footwork, new guys, new chemistry, trying to develop myself as a leader on the team vocally and as an example. But through the spring, it was kind of rough just because I had my vision of what college football looked like coming from Auburn, so it was just a culture change for the better. I mean, I loved both places, but it was just really different. And then through the off season, there was a lot of 7-on-7s, player led, and then doing nothing with live action defensive linemen and linebackers blitzing you. And so me, Sawyer, and Nate, and Ed and Cade, we were all talking about it the other day. Just we're back with guys rushing us, and it's like, oh, it's a whole different game. We've missed it. We love it, and so it's just definitely once fall camp comes, the pace picks up, and it's go time. So it's grind out from here.
What is different? between, I guess, SEC and Big 12? Is that the difference?
Yeah, I mean, hardly any difference. I mean, a lot of people argue it's the box, offense and defensive linemen, but there are some studs here that have come from Oregon, that have come from really good high ranked schools, and this is great football as well. You could argue that there is a change of speed, but at the end of the day, these guys are great athletes too, and they work hard, and there's a love for football in both leagues, and I've sensed that. It's been like different for me, just like saying, oh, we're going to play Utah or BYU. I'm like, oh, wow, that sounds weird. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's great football, and we're all here to win and compete, and these guys are studs. So,
how do you feel about the wide receiver room, particularly with Ashton getting eligible and just the guys you added? I mean, it just seems like it's a really deep, talented room.
Yeah, I mean, starting with Josh Cameron, vet dude, and he really knows his stuff, knows how to work guys well, and Cole brought a lot of speed to the game. Getting Ashton back was huge. Excited for him. Lewis Brown's been showing off. He's been doing really well, and we've got guys like Trigg. When Kobe came in from Alabama, Trigg's a stud. We got Kelsey back and Klopp, like all these guys. It's just a very sound group of guys. The starters, they're just really they know ball, they know how to work guys, they know space. And it's honestly fun. It's art watching them work, and it's just they're good, and the starters are really, really sound. And it's like what Coach Spav has been preaching. Just now that we have the foundation set, it's okay. It's about, all right, what's next? The precision of the details, being what we're calling disciplined sniper. So how detailed are you going to be within the normal reps? Like, do normal better is kind of what we're preaching.
For the QBs, how much have they grown from spring camp all the way to right now here we are at fall camp?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is just the check game and being able to see a look within the play call and understand, okay, this probably isn't the best look to go into, and so getting yourself into a new play, that's always a big part of the quarterback game. I also just think the comfortability of year two in Jake's or Coach Spav's offense. I don't know why I keep calling him Jake. I don't call him Jake to his face, I promise. But just year two, getting comfortable with the new guys that have come in, and I think it's just a lot of chemistry with the receivers and running backs and offensive line, that communication, and we've been hitting on the details of what they're doing up front, and that's a huge part for quarterback game, and that's what I love to learn about. And so I think it's just the comfortability and just having that confidence in your guys that are around you, that you know what they're going to do, and you can start anticipating each other's moves, and now you're just playing a whole different game.
Kind of going along with that, how has the bond grown, here in year two in that situation? Like in the locker room, how has that bond grown with y'all?
Well, I wasn't here last year, obviously. But, I mean, just hearing what the guys have said around the building and within our quarterback room, I mean, all the coaches and Sawyer, like they love the guys that are in this building. The guys that are in the locker room, we love each other. We love being around each other. When we're on the field, we're competing. We're talking trash, but off the field, like we're loving on each other. We have a great time. We spend a ton of time around each other. That's why I personally love fall camp, because we're with each other all day, and you're doing the one thing that we love, football, and we're studying it and getting into the details, and that fires me up.
You've mentioned how much work you've got to do with Sawyer and what you've got to see from him. So what have you learned about Sawyer so far, and how does he stand out versus other QBs that you've kind of been alongside? Yeah,
I mean, Sawyer is very calculated is the word that I think of. When I first got here, our head athletic trainer, Tim Pike, he encouraged me and gave me the advice of, hey, like, if you want to know what to do, like, follow Sawyer. Like, he's got it figured out. So I just think his routine and just his decisions of making others around him feel special, making others around him feel that they are seen. That's something that he's huge at, and just being able to lead guys. Every lineman, every defensive guy, everyone respects Sawyer because he's consistent. And that's the thing. I look up to him, and just like being yourself. You don't have to force anything. And he's a great example of that, and has taught me to dive deep into that as well.